colleagues, welcome to a long-anticipated opportunity to gather and celebrate the accomplishments of the graduates of the Department of Psychology and Neuroscience. Good afternoon, sunshines. Hi, I'm Dr. Jen Stratford, and I'll be your MC today. It's our pleasure to honor the Fall 2024 graduates from our department. We're so glad you could be here with us. Before we start, however, just a quick reminder to please silence all cell phones during the ceremony. Today is truly a time to celebrate. In fact, we have quite the show planned for you. There's excitement, there's drama, there's much rejoicing, all wrapped up in these spiffy robes and impressive hats. It's like an academic version of the musical Wicked. As we reflect on today, yours is a class of living history. You've experienced so much life in such a short amount of time, such as the summer of Barbieheimer, the beginning and end of Taylor Swift's Era Tour, Coach Prime's first win, and more recently, Travis Hunter's Heisman Trophy. You took Zoom classes, and then in-person classes. You wore masks, and then endured the great unmasking. You even got to see the new scoreboard built outside Folsom Field, which brings a festive Times Square feeling to that corner of campus. And here's another historical event. You are part of our department's last fall graduation ceremony. And I didn't even have time to make us commemorative t-shirts or friendship bracelets. Although not all of your experiences have been joyous, they are equally transformative. These events make you stronger, like steel hardened in fire. Or, if you'll allow me to make a Harry Potter reference, like the sword of Gryffindor. You only take in what strengthens you. Indeed, it is in these times of change that we become so intimately aware of how vital human connection is for our health and well-being. That's especially true for folks in our department who study such phenomena. So graduates, I want to give you a chance to thank your social support system, your parents, family members, friends who are here today, all those important people who helped you find your first class in the Munziger dungeon, took you out for a consolation dinner at the sink when you didn't get the exam grade you wanted, and helped you feel overall a little bit more confident that you could get to today's finish line. Parents, family members, and friends, would you please stand so the graduates can thank you? Please be seated. Graduates, here's your chance to acknowledge the faculty, teaching assistants, and staff of the Department of Psychology and Neuroscience. The staff helped students get to graduation in countless ways, such as keeping the computer labs running, advising you through the labyrinth of course requirements, and organizing this awesome ceremony. The teaching assistants helped you understand what the professor was actually trying to say, and the faculty delivered those wonderful lectures, helped you develop lifelong skills, and told a dad joke, or maybe two, along the way. Would the faculty, teaching assistants, and staff of the Department of Psychology and Neuroscience please stand so the graduates and their family and friends may acknowledge your important role in their graduation. Please be seated. Lastly, graduates, it was you who did the hard work. You stayed engaged in lectures even during the most exhausting times, demonstrated your knowledge in new and creative ways, showed your compassion to your fellow classmates. Most importantly, you somehow miraculously stayed on track during the last few years. We're grateful for all that you've done to get here. Would the graduates please stand so that your family and friends may acknowledge your success? left side. I'll let you know when it's time. It'll be your last chance to demonstrate your ability to follow directions. All right, I am delighted to introduce our Dr. Ryan Curtis, who is our faculty speaker this year. Dr. Curtis is a social psychologist and teaching associate professor who teaches some of the most sought-after classes in the department, including general psychology, psychological statistics, and social psychology. Dr. Curtis is especially known for his passion in engaging students in new and creative ways, such as his famous remakes of classic 1980 songs and music videos that he uses to demonstrate key concepts. Moreover, Dr. Curtis is an active member of the departmental community, serving on various committees and working groups, including as co-advisor of the Departmental Psychology Club. Lastly, Dr. Curtis developed several open source textbooks, including an online social psychology textbook, which earned him the CU Open Educational Resources Champion Award and our Departmental Faculty Teaching Award. We are thrilled that Dr. Curtis has agreed to be our faculty speaker today.
Thank you. Graduates, family, and friends, let's take care of one thing and get it out of the way first. So what is this guy wearing? Yes, it's true, I may look a little bit different. I might stand out a little bit, but let's be clear, my fit is drip. There is actually an explanation. You see, doctoral robes are different for each university. After you get your PhD, you have the privilege of wearing your university's robes in any graduation ceremony you attend. So I received my PhD in psychology from the University of Maryland. Go Terps, fear the turtle. And these are their doctoral robes. So actually, this is by far my most expensive outfit. But that is in both money as well as in effort, and some of you might understand a little bit of what I mean by that as well. So enough about what I'm wearing. What are you wearing? So I know that some of you spend a lot of time considering your outfit today, and no matter what you may or may not be wearing underneath those robes, the most important part of what you physically wear today is this formless robe, and you have a literal square on your head and an annoying tassel that keeps getting in your mouth. You've actually spent years planning this outfit, and unless you grow up to be one of these nerds who wear these outfits every year, this may be the only day you wear this specific outfit. So let's talk about what you're wearing. Academic robes are worn in the United States, come from the academic robes worn in universities in Europe, starting in the Middle Ages. They were worn every day, not just at graduation, mainly because they kept people warm while they sat around reading in drafty buildings. So they were meant to be worn over clothes to keep you comfy while you study. So yes, this means that my most expensive outfit is essentially a fancy medieval snuggie. Over the years, the academic robes stopped being worn every day, and now are only worn on graduation day. They now come to represent the prestige and honor of those who have earned a degree in their chosen field. They represent years of work and struggle and accomplishment. Movies and TV tell me that people who care about clothes sometimes ask each other, who are you wearing? This may not be a surprise to my students, but I've never been asked that question. I will, however, ask it to you today, who are you wearing? Who are you wearing? Many people. First, you are wearing the University of Colorado Boulder. You've chosen CU Boulder as your alma mater. That's Alma, A-L-M-A, and mater, M-A-T-E-R. Now some of you are thinking mater, like the mater, without the. That's, no, Latin came before Pixar. So, mater means mother in Latin. Alma mater means nurturing mother. The word alma, or alma, in Spanish and Portuguese means soul. So what has been nurtured by CU Boulder? I like to think of alma mater as the nurturing mother of my soul. No matter your religious or spiritual beliefs, when I say soul, I mean your inner being, your self-concept, the person you are inside. So how has your inner being changed by CU Boulder? Some of you may be thinking, well, eating at the C4C certainly changed my being in several ways. Some of those ways may have required a change of outfit as well. While that may be true, I'm also talking about the experiences of looking up at the Flatirons as you walk to class, the smell of Norland Library as you study for a final, whatever you do up on the hill. Today, you wear your alma mater and all the experiences of being a student here at CU Boulder. So who are you wearing? You are wearing psychology and neuroscience. You wear these robes because you love thinking about how we humans think, feel, and behave. You love it enough to have to spend hours in your Psych 2111 and 3111 classes, and other classes too. But now you wear the robes of one who can interpret a multiple regression and can write a proper APA method section. More than that, you were wearing that spark you felt when you learned a concept like how cognitive dissonance happens or how a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor works. And then the moment of wonder when you say to yourself, but how does it really work? Psychology and neuroscience teach us that your self-concept is not just about you. Your relationships with other people make up an important part of your inner being. So who are you wearing? You are wearing the administration, staff, faculty, like me. Like it or not, your being has been changed by hours and hours of looking at and listening to faculty like me, who strive to teach you those principles which will affect you in your inner soul. And we are not alone. Who are you wearing? You are wearing your family and friends, the people in the room with you today. You wear the worry, work, and now the pride that they feel for you. They have seen you change over the last few years, and now you wear their joy at seeing you accomplish what you set out to do, to become the person you are today. Who are you wearing? You are wearing you. The robes you wear today are an outward symbol of the change that has taken place in you while you've been here at CU Boulder. You are not the same person you were at the beginning of school when you couldn't find your classroom in the sub-basement of Munzinger. Now, you have fulfilled the requirements for a diploma at the University of Colorado Boulder. You've shown that you can grow, did grow, and will grow in the future. There's one more side to this story. While you have been changing, you've also been changing us. You've brought honor and pride to many people in this room. Our souls have been changed by you. They will continue to be changed by you as well. Let me give you an example that happened to me this year. So my wife and I have a dear friend, a single mother with 2 boys. We've known them for years. Her oldest son was the same age as my oldest son. A few years ago, her oldest son died by taking his own life. This left her to raise a preschooler alone while dealing with the grief and pain of this terrible tragedy. She's been slowly healing with the help of many people, including patient and caring professional therapists. This year, she happily contacted us with some news. During one of her therapy sessions, she found out her therapist had been one of my undergraduate students. It seemed to them just like a funny coincidence, but to me, it was profound. Here was a dear friend of mine, an important part of my life, being helped in healing by someone who I was able to teach, whose soul I was able to nourish while she was an undergraduate. Her role as a therapist was, in a very small part, due to my opportunity to teach her. And now her professional abilities enriched my life through caring for our dear family friend. That has been a blessing in my life. That mutual enrichment and growth certainly doesn't end today. Alumni means nursling, like a sapling tree or a baby Yoda. Just because you've been carefully watered in a greenhouse doesn't mean that you don't grow out in the big forest. And just because you've been trained by a Mandalorian doesn't mean that you stop developing warrior skills. And just because you graduate doesn't mean that you don't continue to nourish your soul. You've shown that you can. Now take that growth that you have experienced here and take it out to the world. Change lives for the better, including your own. I know you've done that for me. And on behalf of the people in this room, thank you for letting us be a part of your being. Thank you for being a part of my soul. Graduation looks great on you. Congratulations.
Let's give Dr. Curtis another round of applause. For the last several years, our commencement ceremonies have included a student speaker. The department puts out a call for student speakers, and interested students submit their materials, which are reviewed by a committee of faculty members from our department, and we select select a winner. We are always delighted and impressed by the insights our students include in their talks. This year, the committee was pleased to select Brittany Molitor. I am delighted to introduce you to Brittany, who has some reflections on this special day. Please give her a round of applause.
Hello. Congratulations, graduates. We made it through and hopefully aced 3 levels of psychological statistics and research methods. No small feat. Along the way, we picked up some valuable lessons. Psychology students learned that it's all about positivity. A positive mindset is key to success. Positivity drives good communication. Meanwhile, our friends in neuroscience learned it's not really about positivity. It's just about being a little less negative. Around negative 50 millivolts to be technical. If you know, you know. And on a truly important note, congratulations on the impressive accomplishment of never again having to use those comically small bathrooms in the Munzinger building. You know what I'm talking about. First floor, Munzinger building. Very tiny bathrooms. But in all seriousness, congratulations to the graduates of 2024. Today, we stand together in black and gold, celebrating our accomplishments, our hard work, and our resilience. Together, we've shared a journey of growth, curiosity, and dedication. And today we are bound by a shared tradition of honor that shines brighter than gold itself. Let us take a moment to reflect on the rich history of Boulder. In 1858, people were drawn here by the promise of gold in these very hills and streams. Just as they sought precious treasures in the earth, we too have come here in search of something invaluable. We came seeking insight, understanding, and education. Gifts far more enduring than material wealth. Boulder has always valued research and education, attracting minds from all over. And now, Boulder holds the distinction of being the most educated city per capita in the United States. This academic legacy unites us all with a single purpose: to enrich the world through discovery. Today, as we don black and gold, we honor that tradition. Our colors are more than school pride. They symbolize the value that we found here. As psychology and neuroscience students, we have the rare privilege of exploring the mysteries of the human brain, the most powerful organ in the universe. Our studies bridge biology, chemistry, psychology, philosophy, and ethics, revealing the evolution of human perception, thought, and behavior. This knowledge equips us to understand and empathize with others deeply, balancing insights into stress, resilience, and mental health with research skills and the scientific method. With this privilege comes the responsibility to use our diverse education to foster healing, reason, and a more compassionate world. Isaac Newton once said, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." Those words capture the incredible power of collective learning, an incredible ability we have as a species to share, preserve, and build upon understanding across generations. Today, as we join the ranks of scholars, we recognize that we are part of this extraordinary academic heritage, a tradition built by countless thinkers, researchers, and explorers who dedicated their lives to understanding the human experience. As psychology and neuroscience graduates, we are honored to add to this treasure chest of insights. Through our studies at CU Boulder, we have been shaped by the contributions of the pioneers who came before us. And now we carry forward their tradition with the potential to make impacts that are as far far-reaching as promoting world peace. Perhaps one of us here will conduct groundbreaking research, revolutionize mental health, or discover treatments for neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, improving millions of lives. Or perhaps our contributions will be quieter, but no less significant. Moments of insight that change a life, shape a community, or inspire a shift in thinking. Let us carry this responsibility forward with humility and purpose. Our black and gold represent not only CU Boulder, but the golden future we are equipped to create. A future in which we contribute to communities that flourish, a world that benefits from our research, discoveries, and implementation of all that we've learned here. And just as we were able to see further by standing on the shoulders of giants, those who come after us will see even further than we could by standing on our shoulders. To our families, mentors, and professors who made this journey possible, thank you. Your support has been our foundation. And to my fellow graduates, thank you for bringing your diverse perspectives to the classroom every day. My education has been enhanced by your stories and ideas. Remember, this golden wisdom we carry is not only for ourselves, but for those we will serve. So congratulations, class of 2024. Let us leave here with a commitment to add our unique contributions to the treasure chest of human understanding. May we continue to shine as brightly as gold, carrying forward this heritage of learning, compassion, and unity. Go Buffs!
Thank you, Brittany. Let's give Brittany one more good round of applause. So I'd like to invite those of you who completed an honors thesis and are graduating with Latin honors, so cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude, to please come up to the stage while I make the next introduction. You can kind of just line up over here to my left, your right. Now I'd like to introduce Dr. Albert Kim. Dr. Kim is an associate professor who's been in the department since 2006. His research program focuses on the cognitive and neural mechanisms that allow humans to understand language, including how humans can understand the words and sentences of their native language with automatic ease. The goal of this research is not only to understand how the brain processes language, but also how people use this information to help develop more effective treatments for people who have trouble with language or reading, whether from birth or after brain injury. In addition to working on this exciting research, Dr. Kim also serves on our departmental honors committee. He will tell you more about our honors program and introduce you to our undergraduates who are graduate with honors. Please welcome Dr. Kim.
Good afternoon. So today we'll celebrate the remarkable achievements of our students who are graduating with Latin honors. This is the highest form of academic distinction granted by the university to undergraduates. The Arts and Sciences program in honors at CU Boulder is about 92 years old, started in 1931. It is one of the oldest honors programs at a public university in the United States. In order to graduate with Latin honors in our department, students must fulfill 3 demanding criteria. First, they must maintain a high grade point average. Second, a student must complete an honors thesis, which is an original, independent, and empirical research project done in close collaboration with a faculty mentor. This usually takes at least 1 year to accomplish, often longer. Finally, a student must successfully defend their thesis project before a committee of at least 3 faculty members in an oral defense. This oral defense is rare amongst honors programs in the United States, and it makes the College of Arts and Sciences honors program at CU Boulder one of the most rigorous of its kind. Based on a student's GPA, the quality of their written thesis and the quality of their oral defense of that thesis. The college awards each student one of 3 levels of Latin honors. First, cum laude, which means with praise. Second, magna cum laude, which means with great praise. And finally, summa cum laude, meaning with highest praise. This semester, we are proud to announce that 3 of our psychology and neuroscience undergraduate students were awarded Latin honors. I will announce each student's name, Latin honors designation, and then their thesis advisor. So when I say your name, please step forward and be recognized. Audience, please hold your applause until all have been recognized. First, Haley McVeigh, summa cum laude, advised by Dr. Eliana Colongo. Second, Brooke Johnson, cum laude, advised by Dr. Josh Carell. And Maxwell Martin, summa cum laude, advised by Dr. Mike Sidoris.
In addition to our undergraduates, celebrating our undergraduates' achievements, we're also fortunate to be able to acknowledge and celebrate the achievements of our graduate students. To do this, I'd like to introduce Ryan Bechtel, who we've been lucky enough to have in our department since 2009. Dr. Bechtel's research focuses on the neurobiology of drug addiction and the ways in which drugs of abuse can contribute to the neurobiological changes in the brain that make compulsive drug taking and relapses more likely. Dr. Bechtel is also Associate Chair of our Graduate Studies program. He will introduce our PhD candidate and their faculty member. Please welcome Dr. Ryan Bechtel.
Good afternoon. If the PhD graduate and her advisor would join me on stage, please. And while they're making their way to the stage, I'll tell you a little bit about our graduate program. So our department has nearly 90 graduate students working towards their doctorate degree. They receive extensive training in research, teaching, and clinical practice, which allows them to develop into independent scholars. Once students complete their degree, they're qualified to take a variety of jobs. Some of our students will go on to conduct research and teach at universities and colleges, while other students will take private industry jobs, public sector jobs, where they might work at government agencies, biotech companies, or nonprofit organizations. Today, it's my pleasure to acknowledge and honor our sole graduate from our program for the fall semester, Helen King Sternad. Helen's advisor is Dr. Robert Spencer, who will be placing the hood over Helen's head. That hood is used to signify the level of academic achievement and the degree that they're receiving, in this case, the PhD degree. Helen's doctoral thesis was entitled Diurnals and Circadian Rhythmicity in Midbrain Serotonin Neuron Gene Expression and Activity. Please join me again in congratulating Helen for that.
Dr. Van Boven has been in our department since 2002 and is a social psychologist who's director of the Environment, Decisions and Judgments and Identity Lab, who studies the cognitive, emotional, and social processes that shape people's responses to issues like climate change and political polarization. Today, Dr. Van Boven is going to give general comments about some long-serving members of our staff and retiring faculty who have dedicated a significant amount of their energy, time, talents, and treasure to our department over the years. Please welcome Dr. Van Boven.
Good afternoon, everyone. Congratulations to the graduates, and I want to just acknowledge that it's wonderful to be here with you all on a beautiful day in a beautiful venue. Bob, come back. As we're celebrating milestones and accomplishments, we'd like to recognize the retirements of two esteemed colleagues whose contributions have significantly shaped our department. The first is Emily Richardson, who's unable to be with us today. Emily is retiring after 26 years of service. Emily was director of the Rainey Psychology Clinic and founder of the Brain Behavior Clinic. Emily's leadership dramatically expanded the mental health services on campus and in the community, and those clinics provided an invaluable training opportunity for graduate students. Second, Dr. Robert Spencer is retiring after 30 years in the department. His groundbreaking research on stress and circadian rhythms, along with his role in founding the neuroscience major, has left an enduring legacy both in science and in the department and on campus. Bob has been a mentor to me and to many of us in the department. We are deeply grateful for your 3 decades of service. Bob gave a fantastic talk a few weeks ago summarizing his career in research. And there's one key pro tip that came out of that talk. Do not use your phones at night. It will mess up your circadian rhythm, and then your affect will be completely disrupted. So, congratulations and thank you. We would also like to recognize the commitment and contributions of our department staff. Our staff's dedication, expertise, and collaboration deeply enrich our community. The staff is really the foundation of our department's achievements. And so today, we honor some of the exceptional individuals who have reached a number of significant milestones in their service to the department. I don't know who's here because these lights are shining right in my eyes, so if you happen to be here, please stand as I call your name. John Carroll is celebrating 10 years. Dr. Nomita Chabildas is celebrating 20 years. Suzanne Fulgham, 10 years. Tim Greason, 10 years. Jeannie McKenzie is celebrating 5 years. Amanda Meyer is celebrating 10 years. Maddie Nealis, 5 years. And Jinku Yang, 5 years. So if you're standing, please be recognized.
What's left? I wonder what it could be. Undergraduates, are you ready? I don't know, are you ready? Faculty, do you think they're ready? Parents, are you ready to be done paying tuitions? Alright, let's go. It's time and your turn to receive your diploma cover. Walk across the stage, practice your handshake skills with Dr. Leif Van Boven, chair of our department, and after which we will do some tassel flipping. I want to introduce a few more folks who will be helping with the heroic task of handing out our diploma covers. Before I do, let me ask you a question. How many of you enjoyed your time at CU? Well, these two amazing people I'm going to introduce are part of the reason why. Dr. Elizabeth Stubblefield is a teaching assistant professor who teaches some of our most important neuroscience classes in the department. Woo, I know. Joining Dr. Stubblefield is Dr. Andrew Grotzinger, who's an assistant professor in the department. Dr. Gratzinger teaches courses in the cutting-edge fields of clinical psychology and behavioral genetics. Let's give them a hand, too. I also want to give one more shout out to Laurel Ansel, our amazing leader of the professional. Let's give her a round of applause. For those of you that don't know, Laurel is a retired academic advisor who came out of retirement to graciously once again help us today. Let's give her a second round of applause. All right, so here's how it's going to go. You're going to come up here, and you're going to get a diploma cover from either Dr. Stubblefield or Dr. Gratzinger. You're going to give me your card. You want to bring your card with you. So I might need a little bit of help with your name, a little convo. I'll most certainly mispronounce some names today, but luckily I'm authorized by CU to give you a full tuition reimbursement if I mangle your names. Just kidding. As I call your name, then you're going to walk across the stage, get an awesome handshake from our chair, Dr. Van Boven. You need to pop up here. And then after that, you'll go downstairs. Grad Images will take your picture, and essentially, if you get lost, just do whatever Laurel tells you to do, just like everything else in life. Parents, this is where you can come up front and take a picture. Just try not to knock anyone down on your way to see your graduates. However, one quick note, students are not in alphabetical order, because we're not that insane. It's really hard to get them in alphabetical order. So they're not in alphabetical order as they cross the stage, so you want to keep your eyes and ears open for your favorite graduate. Also, please consult the program for a full list of graduate names. Students, after you go across the stage, it's super important you return to your seat after getting your picture taken. There is one more action we need to take together. It's not over till the tassel has been flipped. All right, let's go. Maxwell Martin. Haley McVeigh. Brooke Leela Johnson. Brittany Molitor. Mary Prentice. Nicole Peters. Torin Boki. Tristan Button. Sydney Blacklock. Lord Stacy. Andrea Lan Brzezinski. Emma Petrocki. Gwendolyn Gaylord. Emma Parlman. Jayla Lopez. Jones. Charlotte Scott. Blake Yango. Sarah Gallegos. Deborah Salento. Aliana Marlton. Allison Wickline. Sarah Matfeld. Emma Huttingdenmeyer. Rachel Dittmer. Lindsay Haight. Nicholas Paolini. Quinn Fitzgerald. Margaret Walker. Aspen Johnson. Samuel King. Julia Stapps. Arushi Singh. Natalia Lopez. Christian Young. Nicholas Lucetta. Rachel Yamokowski. Creek Hall. Ojulabe. Thomas Rogers. Elise Mozina. Qasim Ashamari. Beatrix Fern Johnson Runyon. Sophia Graciela Haley Harsh. Fabian Yu. Leanna Cass. Madeline Sire. Katie Fox. Last but certainly not least, Sanjana Zucchini. All right, graduates, what's next? Tassel flipping, you ready? So my tassel doesn't move because I'm one of those bougie people that Dr. Curtis mentioned. So I dug out my tassel from when I was an undergraduate, and it has not disintegrated to dust, surprisingly. So what you want to do is take it from your right side, grab your tassel on the right with one hand, count through, we're going to flip it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Congratulations! You are now all graduates of the Department of Psychology. So our graduates are going to, now it's their turn to lead, right, just like Dr. Curtis was mentioning. So our graduates are going to lead us out of this ceremony by exiting to the back of the auditorium. Our faculty are going to remain on stage until our graduates are out through Mackey. Friends and family, you can come meet up with them in the lobby, or even better, connect with them outside of Mackey and enjoy some of this beautiful sunny weather. Once again, a sincere congratulations